the number one most dangerous ingredient for your lungs is not what you think. This ingredient is worse than high fructose corn syrup, it's worse than sugar, it's worse than starches, and yes, it's worse than seed oils. Based on studies in mice and rats, it's considered a Class A carcinogen, which means it's a probable carcinogen for humans. But it doesn't stop there. This ingredient isn't just linked to cancer, it can also wreak havoc on your respiratory system. It's known to trigger inflammation in your lungs, damage your airways, and even worsen conditions like asthma. What's more disturbing? You won't find this listed as an ingredient on any label. Why? Because it's not something that's added to food. It's a byproduct created during the cooking process, especially when you add heat. So, what is this dangerous byproduct? It's known as acrylamide. It's a chemical that forms when certain proteins react with sugar at high temperatures. And don't worry, I'll explain this as simply as possible before we dive into the technical details. I'll also share some good news, including ways to protect your lungs from acrylamide and even neutralize its effects. Here's the alarming part. Over 40% of the foods we eat contain acrylamide. But it doesn't come from natural sugars like honey or sugar cane. It comes from refined sugars like glucose, dextrose, glucose syrup, and maltodextrin, which is just a highly processed starch. When you heat these refined sugars with proteins, you get acrylamide. And it doesn't stop there. Think about how foods are prepared. Mostly fried, baked, or roasted foods are cooked in oils, especially seed oils. And if you're at a fast food restaurant frying up some French fries, there's no way to avoid oil, right? This combination of heat, oil, and refined ingredients creates the perfect storm for acrylamide, and your lungs are paying the price. But that's just the beginning. Let's break it down further and talk about what makes acrylamide so harmful for your respiratory system and how you can protect yourself. On top of the harmful effects of seed oils, sugars, and starches already contributing to chronic inflammation in your body, we now have this added threat, acrylamide. And here's the real kicker. Acrylamide isn't just bad for your overall health, it's particularly destructive to your lungs. Why? Because inhaling or consuming this toxin can increase airway inflammation, making it harder for you to breathe. Studies have shown that acrylamide exposure can worsen allergic responses and lung irritation, especially in people with asthma or pre-existing respiratory conditions. It can trigger the activation of certain immune cells in your lungs, known as group 2 innate lymphoid cells. These cells flood the lungs with inflammatory signals, which leads to more mucus production, swelling, and tightening of the airways. And it's not just the fries, chips, and cookies. Acrylamide is also found in common foods like roasted coffee, baked goods, and even breakfast cereals. Before you panic, because I know many of you love your morning coffee, there are ways to reduce your exposure, and I'll get to that soon. But first, let's talk about oils. When you fry food at home or eat fried foods at restaurants, they're almost always cooked in seed oils like canola, soybean, or corn oil, which are oils that are unstable and break down at high heat. This breakdown not only increases the formation of acrylamide, but also adds harmful compounds that further irritate your respiratory system. Here's something interesting. Before the 1990s, fast food chains like McDonald's used beef tallow, animal fat, to fry their fries. Back then, the fries didn't produce nearly as much acrylamide. Why? Because saturated fats like tallow and coconut oil are much more stable at high temperatures. They don't interact with the sugars and proteins in the same way as seed oils. If today's fries were cooked in tallow instead of seed oils, the acrylamide content and the overall toxicity would be significantly lower. Would it be completely safe? Probably not. But it would be far less harmful to your overall health, including the lungs and respiratory system. Now, let's get into where acrylamide hides in everyday foods and how you can avoid or neutralize it to protect your respiratory health. So, where exactly can you find acrylamide? The worst offenders are fried foods like French fries, potato chips, corn chips, and even some roasted nuts. But it doesn't stop there. Baked goods like crackers, cookies, and pastries are loaded with acrylamide because they're made with refined flour and sugars and then cooked at high temperatures. Even breakfast cereals and the crust of bread contain acrylamide. And yes, as I mentioned before, even your morning cup of coffee can be a source. Now, before you swear off coffee completely, here's the good news. The type of roast matters. Dark roast coffee has significantly less acrylamide than light roast coffee. Why? Because at high roasting temperatures, acrylamide becomes unstable and starts to break down. That means an espresso or dark roast blend can have 10 times less acrylamide than a light roast. Let's also talk about how acrylamide is formed. This chemical is a byproduct of something called the Maillard reaction. that delicious browning process that gives food their crispy golden finish. When a certain amino acid called asparagine reacts with refined sugars under high heat, acrylamide is formed. Asparagine is found in foods like wheat, corn, rice, and soy. This reaction typically happens at temperatures above 285 degrees Fahrenheit. And here's where it gets even more concerning. Acrylamide doesn't stop there. It breaks down into another byproduct called Glycidamide, which is even more harmful and has been linked to DNA damage and increased cancer risk. But this isn't just about the science, it's about what happens in your lungs. When you inhale acrylamide from tobacco smoke or even from being around high-temperature cooking, it can trigger a cascade of inflammation. The immune cells in your lungs overreact, leading to tissue damage, airway narrowing, and a worsening of respiratory issues like asthma, COPD, or chronic bronchitis. Now that you know how acrylamide is created, let's talk about how to reduce it in your diet and environment. One of the simplest things you can do is switch the type of fat you use for cooking. Instead of seed oils, opt for saturated fats like coconut oil, butter, or tallow because they're more stable and far less likely to produce acrylamide. Next, avoid refined sugars and starches. Instead, use more natural sweeteners like honey or pure sugarcane when you bake or cook. These don't react with proteins in the same way that synthetic sugars like high-fructose corn syrup or dextrose do. Another tip? Use slow cooking whenever possible. When you cook at lower temperatures for longer periods, you avoid reaching the high heat threshold that triggers the Maillard reaction. For example, if you're cooking meat, try slow cooking or braising instead of roasting or frying at high heat. However, let's be real, none of us are perfect. If you happen to indulge in fried or baked foods, there are still ways to counteract acrylamide's effects on your lungs. Certain foods have powerful protective compounds that can help. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, kale, Brussels sprouts, and arugula contain natural antioxidants that combat inflammation. Garlic and broccoli sprouts are especially potent when it comes to supporting lung detoxification. Foods high in vitamin C, such as lemons, limes, bell peppers, and sauerkraut, can also help neutralize oxidative stress caused by acrylamide. And if you're a fan of green tea or spirulina, you're in luck. Both have compounds that help your body defend against these toxic byproducts. Acrylamide may not be an ingredient listed on a food label, but it's a hidden danger that affects your lungs and respiratory health. It's formed during the cooking process and is lurking in more foods than you might expect. By making a few simple changes like choosing the right oils, avoiding refined sugars, and cooking at lower temperatures, you can drastically reduce your exposure. And by incorporating antioxidant-rich foods into your diet, you can protect your lungs from some of the inflammation and damage that acrylamide can cause. The bottom line, your lungs work hard for you every single day, so it's time to give them the protection they deserve. If you want to support the channel, please like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And there should be some other helpful videos popping up on your screen right about now that I think you will enjoy. And just a quick reminder, we are not doctors. This video is for informational purposes only. Have a nice day, and thanks for watching.